So
Right.
McDonald's now ex-CEO Steve Easterbrook left because of a quote consensual relationship with another employee. But it's come out since that there was a Wall Street Journal article on Sunday that suggested that the company itself, the management was partying late into the night with its employees, with it like rank and file
Yeah.
employees, and there
Like a
were
tech bro culture.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was very much like there was quote late night socializing between senior managers and rank and file employees, and
Jeez.
this fun quote flirtations with female employees, right? So it's
Okay.
very much like this broy
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. So
dudes going out late.
let me interrupt you for a second. This picture you have up. Well, who is that? Is that Easterbrook?
So that is the new CEO. So they
It's a new CEO.
replaced Easterbrook with this new CEO, Chris Kempczynski.
And is he implicated in this party
He's not
culture?
implicated in this at all. He's brought in to sort of clean up the mess. He's actually from
Uh,
another company. I
Okay.
think he came from Kraft. But he comes
No
in.
party.
He
Yeah.
comes in here to clean this up, and he sends this note to the employees. The note to the employees says it basically says, I've heard your feedback. This is not part of our culture, and we need to change our culture. And it's going to be built off of a three-legged stool. So, segue or sidebar, love three-legged stools, okay?
Oh, so he's also using your three-legged stool metaphor?
Everybody uses three-legged stools. He
Oh,
uses
everybody
it,
does.
and
Okay. Yeah.
lest you think that the three legs of the stool were flirting parties and dude sweet,
Yeah.
he actually puts the legs as opportunity, community, and solutions. Okay, so
Okay.
a
So
couple of
famously meaningless
fluffy,
corporate buzzword.
useless words. So
Yeah.
congratulations, but it got me thinking about because he's talking about changing corporate culture and he's using a stool to do it, right? And Celadon was a corporate culture problem. And there's not, to me, much of a difference between the sort of this frat party bro-ish culture and corporate
Mhm.
boards and the way their corporations are run. So I actually dug into McDonald's corporate board because it's like, what is the probability that this guy's letter or this ideal of a random ass fluffy three-legged stool is actually going to be the start of changing a corporate culture? So I looked
Yeah.
at the corporate board, okay?
Funny. Yeah.
Um, there are 13 members on the corporate board, including the chair, Enrique Hernandez. He's been a board member of McDonald's for 23 years. Still a
Yeah. He's
board
sort of.
member.
Yeah, I feel like he's sort of infamous in the corporate governance world. He's involved in a lot of strange situations on boards.
23 years is a long time to be on one board, I will
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
as an
yeah.
independent quote unquote director. But he's one of 5 of the 13 who have been on the board for at least 11 years.
Yeah,
So
sure.
the board is fairly full. And if you're watching the live stream, you can, or watching the video, you can
Hmm.
see, you know, let's say it's mostly white people,
Yep.
3 women, and it's not like undiverse, but
No,
it's
it's
definitely
fine.
not
Yep.
like diverse.
No.
And to understand exactly how diverse it is, getting outside of gender and color, effectively race,
Hmm.
color, ethnicity, anything,
Okay.
I wanted to actually look at relationships, and I did this with the Boeing board. So I went and I looked at a couple of people in particular, Enrique Hernandez himself, but a guy named Robert Eckert, Paul Walsh, and Miles White. Needless to say, those Robert, Paul, and Miles are like the 3 whitest people on the board. They are by far. Um,
Sure.
so what I found was really, really simple. Paul Walsh, and you're not going to believe this, Paul Walsh also sits on the chair of McDonald's, also sits on the chair or sits on the board of McDonald's, also sits on the board of FedEx
Yeah.
with Susan Schwab from
Yeah.
Boeing.
Caterpillar 3.
So I
That's
can
my.
connect.
I did not coordinate that earlier. That's my
There's
Susan Schwab.
no coordination here.
Yeah.
I can connect McDonald's board to Boeing in one step. Okay, that's how
No.
small this universe is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not just Paul Walsh.
Hmm.
Robert Eckert sits on the board of Amgen with Robert Bradway, who sits on the board of Boeing. Okay?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
let me get you a little bit deeper. These are the people who are going to change the corporate culture at McDonald's. These are the people. I just want to remind you why I'm
Yeah.
talking about them.
Yeah. That's the funniest thing I've heard in at least 4 hours.
Robert Eckert, who sits on the
Yeah.
board of Amgen with Robert Bradway. Also on the board of Amgen is a guy named Ron Sugar.
Oh yeah.
Ron
Ronnie Sugar.
Suggs
Mhm.
sits on the board of Chevron with Enrique Hernandez, the chair of the
course.
board of McDonald's. So now
Yeah.
we've got a nice circle going too. Bob Eckert and Hernandez are connected through at least 2 other boards. And the best one, the most fun I had on this, and this I am serious. None of this is made up that these people are connected in these ways. Miles White sits on the board of both Abbott Laboratories and Caterpillar. The Caterpillar board has Dave Calhoun, the CEO, current CEO of Boeing, Dennis Muhlenberg, the ex-CEO of Boeing, and Susan Schwab on it. So Miles White sits on the board of Caterpillar with the big 3 from Boeing on their board.
Of course he does.
Also sits on the board of Abbott Labs with Ed Liddy, my absolute favorite board member.
Yeah, we've heard Ed Liddy a lot on this show.
He's on this show all the time because he's had so many anniversaries. He's so important. He sits on
he is the white bread of the corporate world.
He is the milkiest toast of corporate boards.
I beg people, if you're interested in what Matt's talking about, to go online and you can go to our website and he posts the slides every day. You can also just see the show like on places like YouTube. Look at the visuals here because it definitely helps tell the story. No, really, I mean, it's if you can't follow the names, look at the visuals. It's illuminating.
The only name you need to remember is Ed Liddy. He's my favorite. But
yeah,
Miles White sits on the board of Abbott with Ed Liddy, who's on the Boeing board. So here's my question.
Crazy. Yeah.
To bring it back to the start. Can you wake me up when culture change starts, pretty please?
Well, as we lament frequently, since there's no accountability to these board members, especially in the United States, and they're getting paid a massive pile of money. Don't hold your breath, man. Why have a culture change? Why?
I need to write a letter.
I want to change the culture that's creating these relationships.
I'm imploring our listener to write one letter to McDonald's CEO saying, I love your idea of culture change. I love that you crossed out your 3-legged stool from flirting parties and dude suite to opportunity, community, and solutions. But can you please, pretty please, tell me how this interconnected web of ridiculousness is going to help change the culture at McDonald's?